Alright, so I watched Spider-Man 2 yesterday. I remember Spider-Man 2 being the best Spider-Man movie. I convinced my brother to watch it, and I was surprised at how much I didn't like the movie. I was really surprised at that. Um, so first of all, I'm gonna start with the conflict. The conflict is that Spider-Man is basically losing his powers, you know, and Doc Ock is trying to rebuild his experiment that didn't work and um, that threatens to destroy the entire city, right? So he's Peter Parker throughout the movie he's losing his powers, and at one point in the movie, it's almost like he has a revelation, and his powers sort of disappear. It's not like he quit being Spider-Man. It's not like he chose to quit being Spider-Man. It's rather that he couldn't be Spider-Man anymore because he didn't have his powers. You know, it just seemed to come at a very convenient time. And then, spoiler alert, I guess. Yeah, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie, it's like 16 years old. So many people have seen it. I don't know how you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you should. I don't know. I can't. I don't recommend it, but if you want to watch it, you can watch it. Anyway, so um, Doc Ock steals Mary Jane at this cafe right before Peter is going to kiss. Right before Peter is going to kiss her, and it they're like Doc Ock is going for Mary Jane because Harry told him to go and get Peter Parker because Peter revealed that he's Spider-Man to Harry. And he specifically says don't kill Peter Parker, you know, but Peter fuck like Doc Ock throws a fucking card at the cafe that Peter is having like, you know, lunch with Mary Jane at. And it's just like holy shit, you know, like you're supposed to not be trying to kill this man, and he throws a whole ass car at him, right? And so he steals Mary Jane, he kidnaps Mary Jane, and all of a sudden Peter just gets his powers back. There's no question about, you know, him like where his why his powers were like decreasing or why or how he got his powers back. He just gets them back and they're in full force, you know. It's just like it just feels like a Dos Ex Machina, just like out of nowhere he's losing his powers, and when the plot um calls for it, he regains his powers. It's just like what the fuck, you know. And so that annoyed me when we were watching it. What also annoyed me was there was this point where Pierre's like his aunt is going to like lose the house and shit, and Pierre, you know, is broke as fuck, and like he tells her that, you know, she's lonely and, you know, she's struggling to pay the house, and I'm just like, why don't you, you know, like it's been 2 years since his grand since his great uncle has died, right? And so why, and you're, you know, you've been broke for like the last 2 years, why not just like move back with your your aunt? Why not just do that, help her pay for the house, and um you know, give her company, you know, like why not do that? That's not, you know, that's not um they don't really, they just mention those problems and don't really do anything about it, and just let, you know, the aunt lose the house in the end. um yeah, there's that. Shit, I should have made some like a list of points, but it also sort of annoyed me that like I remember Spider-Man as being, I watched it when I was a kid, so I guess just like maybe I've just watched so many superhero films that like, Peter Parker being Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man really being like the quintessential superhero films to really kick off the 21st century superhero franchises, really just like sort of the inspiration for them for this like what 2010s superhero takeover pretty much. It's just like, I don't know, it just seems so dated now. Some of the fight scenes are still pretty fucking cool. Like, I really like Doc Ock's arms. They actually have like a personality to them that I thought was really cool. But for the most part, it's aged really poorly. I feel like it's aged very poorly. Um, Peter Parker is just, I feel like he's just too much of a goody two shoes, to be honest. Oh yeah, at the end, Mary Jane like leaves um her soon to be husband, the son of the newspaper mogul, the fucking astronaut, and we're supposed to sympathize with her, and she's running to Peter like smiling and shit, but this guy has like done nothing wrong. Like, they don't show him being like, he just he loves Mary Jane. He's just a good guy, and like she just leaves him on his wedding day. She's just gone, and we're just supposed to like understand and be happy for Mary Jane when like this guy has just been fucking wrong, bro. Like that must have just been so painful for him. But that's not that's not dealt with at all. No consequences from just um leaving a wedding, just impromptu type shit. And the whole monologue that they have at the end about like true love and shit was just like, oh my god. It's kind of cringy, to be honest. And Peter Parker has like the worst lines in this movie too. Like, I like the part where he's trying to read a poem to Mary Jane, and Mary Jane's just like, what the fuck are you saying? That shit was really funny. But there's other lines that are just like, shit, man. Like, the movie really like set Peter Parker up to be a guy that I would not want to hang out with. Like, I really like the new Tom Holland. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. I like his Peter Parker a lot more than Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. It's just like, he's just lame, bro. Like, shit. Like, I liked them. Like I said, I liked them when I was a kid. I never really looked up to Spider-Man, to be honest. I really wanted his powers because I thought that shit was really dope. But like, I don't know, like rewatching it, just made me realize like Spider-Man's like, that Spider-Man at least is like the last person I'd want to hang out with, bro. Fucking boring. But yeah, really surprised that I didn't like it. Like I said, I for like the last what 16 years I thought like Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man film, and now that's going to either Spider-Man 1 or the new Tom Holland Spider-Man films, because I just feel like they're better. I like them more, And my brother at the end of the movie, he just like made fun of me for like, convincing him to watch this movie, saying that it was gonna be better, and saying that it was gonna be a good time, and then us both agreeing that it's just like, no, like shit was almost a waste of time. But yeah, action scenes are still pretty cool. The fucking Doc Ock's arms are pretty fucking dope. Also, it's sort of like very I don't know, it's almost very comic book esque, the whole movie, which is kind of cool, but at the same time kind of just like goofy. At the time when I watched it when I was a kid, I didn't know like who Sam Raimi was, but you can really see like his horror tropes come out in the Spider-Man movies, like just with the music that he uses, and like just some parts of the scenes, like that style is really noticeable, you know, if you're familiar with his work. Anyway, that was my, like, thoughts on the film. I was just so surprised that, like, at how much I just didn't really care for the movie. I mean, like, the pacing's really good. Like, it keeps you entertained, but, like, I just thought it would be more profound. And I guess in a way it was profound, like I said, to the 21st century superhero movie, Marvel movie takeover, but I just think it's aged very poorly. Anyway, that's my video. That's my thoughts. Suggest to me for me other things to review, other things to check out. Subscribe if you want to stay tuned to my videos that I'm gonna come out with. And what else? Like this video, yeah. Even though it doesn't really matter, doesn't really matter as long as you watch it. But like this video for my self-esteem. Keep me, keep me in a good mental shape. Nah, all right. See y'all.